Welcome, Fins Nation. This is your boy Fins Mechanic here live on today's show here at Five Reasons Sports. Now, before we get started, I want to quickly remind you to please sign up for prizepicks.com, the official fantasy partner of Five Reasons Sports. You know now it's legal in the state of Florida. So, what you need to do before Thursday Night Football, sign up using the promo code 5 and put your first $5 play, and what prize pick will do is give you $50 extra to play with no strings attached. So remember, use 5, that's FIVE. You get the extra $50. You get yourself set up, you put your lineups for tomorrow's game. I think it's the Steelers and the Browns, I believe. So get your prize pick account, set yourself up. Like Jalen Waddle always says, if you don't get the money, you're done, young. So it's important to go ahead and get that prize picks. Your official fantasy partner of Five Reasons Sports. Guys, week 12, 4-6. We're pushing to the playoffs. I know there's a couple of fans who still believe that we can push through if we do the right things, if things come together with injuries and stuff like that. So now we are dealing with the Patriots. Should be a good matchup at home. You know, the Patriots always play us tough. It's a divisional round matchup, but I think it's important for us to handle our business and to make sure that we get the job done and get that dub. Um, I know the Patriots are gonna probably want to ruin our momentum as we're trying to get as much wins as we can to make the playoffs. So it's important that we take it seriously. We don't underestimate them, and then we are trying to finish the game with a dub. And here we are. Yes. Now I want to say again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Nick, how you doing? This is Nick Hogan. He is a podcast for the what is it? The Between the Tackles podcast for Fans First Network. How you doing, my friend? It's been a while. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to have you have come be back on the show. You know, I love my Miami guys down there. It's a love-hate relationship, but I
Yeah.
still love you guys, okay? So it's all good in the hood as long as the Patriots give you a competitive game, but you guys take care of advantage and we get a better draft pick, I'm okay with that. All right?
Yes, the official frenemy of the AFC East, man. I appreciate you once again for taking the time. Actually, looking at this matchup, I want to kind of start off with the season in totality. I know it's kind of a little bit of a rebuild. You got your franchise quarterback. We'll talk a little bit about him. What are your thoughts overall about on the Patriots season so far?
So far, I gotta say it's honestly exactly what I was expecting as a Patriots fan. First and foremost, I did not think that we were gonna be any deal breakers this year, where we were gonna, go out and make the playoffs or win the division or anything like that. I all those expectations were out the window following a 4-win season last year, replacing Belichick, replacing all the greats we've had over the years. So, 3-8 is obviously not ideal from a fan perspective. I mean, nobody ever wants to see their team be terrible, but when you're expecting it and you're kind of like, okay, this is what this team is. I'm looking at it as a rebuild year completely, where it's get the young guys in there, infuse the young talent, get them on par with where they need to be for the future. And if you can be competitive, but still put yourself in a prime position for the draft, I'm okay with that. So it's a little bit of a catch 22, right? I'm not happy with where they're at record wise or anything like that. Because again, you never want to see your team lose. But on the same aspect, I'm more than content with where they're at because it's exactly what I expected from them.
For sure, and I understand that fact of being competitive to not only gel with the nucleus, but also evaluate some of the guys you have on the roster to see who you can keep, who you kind of maneuver with trades and stuff like that in the offseason moving forward. So I expect as well a competitive matchup, even though maybe I see a little advantage for us. You never know when it comes to the NFL. So real excited to see how this outcome look for us this Sunday. Wanted to kind of turn our thoughts to Drake May. now the starter for the Patriots. What are your overall thoughts on him and what he's done so far as he solidifies himself as the New England franchise quarterback?
So for me personally, I was on board with saying I was more than okay with Drake May sitting for the majority of his tenure with the Patriots because I did not want to see him get thrown into essentially what is a dumpster fire of a season so far. Especially everybody with a brain saw what happened to Jacoby Brissett the first 5 weeks of the season, including the first matchup against you guys with Miami there. So it wasn't like, okay, I want to see this kid come in and get his bell rung and get beat around and, essentially become Mac Jones 2.0, which is the biggest thing I did not want to see. But that being said, seeing him come in and have the immediate turnaround and success that he's had so far being the starter for this franchise has been incredible to watch, because I have to go back to the Drew Bledsoe days when he first came to New England to really be like, okay, this is what a franchise guy looks like that's not named Tom Brady. You know what I mean? And again, it's extremely, extremely early where, the jury's still out whether he's going to have a tremendous superstar career or anything like that. I certainly hope so. And he seems to be trending in that direction. But as of so far, what I've seen is the spark that the Patriots needed on offense to really start, his tenure off the way it should be. He's making a lot of mistakes that rookies do. He's thrown a couple of late interceptions that have cost them games where they had a chance for game-winning drives. But at the end of the day, you expect that from your rookie. As long as he continues to learn and grow with the guys he's got on the team right now, I'm more than okay with the performance we've seen from Drake May so far.
Yeah, man. I saw a couple of so far a couple of the games that he played. Looks like he's getting more comfortable, in my opinion, as far as getting experience. I do see the little bit of the rookie mistakes, but hopefully for you guys, he grows and learns from that, and you can make the AFC East a competitive division once again. Welcome, guys. French and Wally are here with us, with Nick Hogan, fan first host of the Between the Tackles podcast. Please, guys, if you got a chance, check him out. If you want to learn a little bit about your frenemy of the AFC East, he's the guy. French, do you have I'm sorry, Wally, do you have a question for my guy?
Not really, man. Just gonna beat y'all, man. We gonna beat y'all, man. I don't care what what we're talking about, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm pleasantly surprised with Drake May. I'm glad he broke the curse of the ACC trash quarterback, overhyped, overdraft quarterback. You know what I mean. You could go back to Daniel Jones and that whole like debacle. Like I didn't look. He was recruited by homie from Texas that went to coach North Carolina. What's the old school guy? Brown, Mac Brown.
Mac Brown. Yep.
Yeah, and he revived that program. I was just being a hater. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was just being a hater with Drake May because he has the tools, and it's fun to see it. It's fun to see it because, God damn it, I'd rather see you guys winning the damn Bills. I would rather get things back to the way there is, and let's get back to real football and Dolphin, Pats, and the nasty, ugly because nobody talks about the Jets and nobody cares about the Bills. I need you guys to bring it back home so we can get back to what we used to have, man. Even our 1-15 matches were intense. I need that back. I really do.
Well, I certainly hope we can get to that point. I mean, I certainly look at it like you were saying, where it's a work in progress right now, and I agree. The Bills are who they are, but at the end of the day, we all knew they're not going to make it past the second round of the playoffs. That's what the Bills do. They just can't do it. Okay, but in the Jets, they're the Jets. So if anything, like I said, my early season prediction was that you guys were actually going to win the division. And obviously Tua getting hurt did not help in any standpoint with that. But now that he's back and you guys have ripped off a couple of nice wins against the Rams and the Raiders the way that you have now, you're looking prime to go on a run and do what you need to do in this division going forward. And while I certainly don't want to see the Patriots lose, I think we're going to do you guys some favors and we're going to lose to you on this Sunday.
Thank you. We need that. We need that.
I just want to make one statement on
Oh my God. Here we go.
Don't let
you met him before. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Let me stick the landing. Don't let this game talk you out of a draft pick that you deserve. All I'm saying, in the grand scheme of things,
That Travis
doesn't
Hunter pick. That
matter.
Travis Hunter pick. Hey,
He looks
don't mess up
good.
that bag.
Because the way it look right now, you might have an advantageous decision to make at the end of the season. Dolphins ripped off a couple of wins, but this is what we call that could be what he said, trap game, where you come in, you're overly confident about an opponent. That opponent's feeling good based off some of the materials they put on tape, and you end up in a low-scoring game, which could be in a recipe for a disaster. All I'm saying, the Dolphins, we've averaged 30 points for the last game. That's a trend that we're looking to roll on. Help us, help you, help us, help you. If that makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. Frenchie, I actually have a stat for you, okay? Are you ready for this? So Tua has not lost to the Patriots since he's come into the league. And remind me, who's starting the game on Sunday for you guys? Oh, that's right, it's Tua. So I think another W is coming your way. You'll be completely fine. I don't want to hear it, okay?
Thank you. But let me ask you one question seriously.
I got you.
When you look at kind of the evolution and kind of what Drake is giving you, what are some of the things that you're looking at him building on as you go into this game that can pay dividends as you get into the end of the season and you start preparing for next season?
So that's a phenomenal question. And actually, one thing that I looked at, particularly from the last game that the Patriots just played against the Rams, where I broke it down, particularly where it was Drake May versus Matthew Stafford. And I looked at it where May tried to his best to outduel Matthew Stafford, which is no easy feat considering Stafford's established as he is, as long as he's been around and the weapons he has with the Ram system there. Where if you look at my New England Patriots, our number one receiver is arguably Kendrick Bourne, who is just removed from an ACL tear. He's not blowing up anybody's stat sheets or anything like that. But the thing that Drake May is doing right now that is the most impressive thing to me for his rookie campaign so far is he's distributing the football to players across the board, which you don't see from either young players, rookies, or even established quarterbacks. The biggest thing that I took away was, Matthew Stafford, when he first started his career in Detroit, he had Megatron, he had Calvin Johnson. Everybody on the planet knew Calvin Johnson was going to be the guy he was throwing the ball to. If you look at who the Patriots have on our offensive side of the ball, it's Kendrick Bourne, it's Hunter Henry, it's Demario Douglas. It's essentially no-name guys if you don't know New England football, which a lot of people don't know right now because Tom Brady's not here and Bill Belichick's not here anymore. So the fact that May is doing what he's doing essentially with no-name players is what makes me more excited than anything, because he's showing me that even though he's a rookie and he's a young guy, the development is already taking place where he's not picking a certain guy that he's only throwing to. He's not making dumb mistakes by, I'm going to zero in on only Hunter Henry on every third down or anything like that. He's distributing the football, and that's what I want to see. Now, the mistakes are still there. Like I touched on earlier, he's throwing the interceptions. He's had some goofy plays. He likes to run a lot, which is great to see, but he also got banged up against the Jets. That's why we had to see Jacoby Brissett again. So I don't want to see the injuries. You guys know with the two injuries, you never want to see your quarterback go down. So if he cleans up the mistakes and he continues to progress the way that he's going, boy, oh boy, the future is bright for this kid. And I can't wait to see the next few years, essentially. I'd love to hit a fast forward button like 2 or 3 years from now and see what this Patriots team is going to be like. I know they're crap right now. I know we are crap, but give me a year or two. Watch out, guys. We're going to be coming back.
Let's hope so. So we can make it a fun, competitive matchup for all the AFC East. But of course, we want to be up top. On the defensive side, you guys are still good. You're not elite like you guys used to be, but you're in the middle of the pack. You got some guys back. I think Barmore is back. I saw that he did not practice today, but I was going to ask you a little bit about that later on. But what do you think about your defense so far, and what are you expecting to see this upcoming matchup on Sunday?
So I guess the biggest thing for me with the Patriots defense is where it's been such a staple of the franchise, particularly the last 20 plus years, as long as Belichick's been there. And then the last few years, even with the end of Belichick's tenure, where they've been able to do what they've been able to do with essentially players that aren't superstars and everything. I was kind of hoping for more from this defensive unit. And unfortunately, they've let me down because I think the biggest thing at this point is the offense has been revitalized with Drake May being the starter now, where we're putting points up. We're not, seeing Jacoby get knocked around, and May's making throws. I mean, he brought the game against Tennessee to overtime on that crazy last play there that a bunch of people I'm sure saw. And of course, our defense let Tennessee go right down the field, kick a field goal, and then it was too little, too late. So we it's been disappointing to see the defense be more break than bend and don't break like we were accustomed to here in New England. But the big thing is it's still a lot of young guys that you look at the future again, where, like you said, Barmore actually played last week. It was his first game this year where he was medically not cleared to play, and it was phenomenal to see him back out in the field there. Christian Gonzalez, I will fight anybody on the planet right now who says he's not a top 5 cornerback. He is absolutely insane. And then the problem is anybody not named Christian Gonzalez on this Patriots defense, because last week against the Rams, whoever Gonzalez was covering did not get the ball. But guess what? The guy who wasn't getting covered by Christian Gonzalez, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, they went off for the Rams anytime that Gonzalez wasn't covering them. So if they can find a steady corner to complement Gonzalez, if Barmore can stay healthy, if we can get some pass rushing and just get the defense back to what it needs to be, I'll feel good right now. You guys with your freaking explosive offense down there with Waddle, Hill, Odell. I mean, come on. Who the heck is Gonzalez is going to cover one of them? You guys are going to probably score 70 points like you did to poor Denver a couple of years ago. I see that coming.
Look, I think what happened with the Patriots is the change of the guards, because listen, if you go back to Bill Belichick, the eye for defensive backs and safeties, you guys did kind of in that weird transition from finding pass rushers, and you kind of did, and then you injuries and you traded some of them and they left, so the transition wasn't all there, because up to just a couple years ago when you guys got Jabril Wilson, that the 3 safety and like 4 safety / linebacker look for the Patriots was elite. That concept is like Nick Saban and Bill Belichick have this weird thing about finding those guys, and I think the Patriots went away from that, and it's kind of annoying to see a Patriots defense not be a Patriots defense, even when you have Mayo and you expect it to be like an extension of it. But you kind of gotta pause, because those guys that it's like basically like a college team, like your juniors and seniors they're leaving, so you kind of have to rebuild the program and the defense as well to like bring back the Patriot wave you made, and it's kind of gonna be tough to rebuild that essentially because of the NIL and how these kids are coming into college. So I was gonna ask you, how do you see? Because Mayo's young and he could relate to players, but how do you see him rebuilding if you made the mystique of that Patriot way in your defense? Because I think that Drake May covers that all. If Drake May is Drake May, like you said, you'll be fine, but you need to build it in the defense.
No, for sure. That's the big thing that is frustrating to me as a Patriots fan, first and foremost, that I keep looking at where Gerard Mayo was drafted by Bill Belichick. He was a disciple of him. He played his entire career for him. And then his coaching career began again in New England when he decided to come back as a coach, and he coached under Belichick the whole time. So a big part of me was under the, maybe misguided understanding that it was not going to be a change when Belichick left and Mayo was coming in to be, replace him. It was going to be the same defense. It was going to be, okay, we're going to be top 5. We're going to be elite, and the offense is going to struggle, but we'll be okay. And to see the defense kind of take a step back, like you said, where injuries have obviously played a part, the trades and everything, where it's not the elite defense that we're used to. But I'm one of those guys that I like to be patient. You know what I mean? Where people were calling for Mayo's head when the team was, 1-4, 1-5, which is, it's crazy to me. He's a rookie coach. He's a rookie quarterback. Like it's not miracles overnight. It just doesn't happen. So it's disappointing right now to say the least, but I think again, I'm an optimism, so I love to look to the future, and I think that depending on how the draft goes and how they're able to turn things around, the big thing that a lot of people don't know with this Patriots team, that the draft this past offseason leading into this year, I believe every draft pick the Patriots had was an offensive player except for one. So, I mean, that speaks volumes to they clearly knew the issue was the offensive side of the ball, and they thought the defense was going to be fine. Clearly not the
Nah.
case where you're letting up what's happening. Yeah, exactly. So, the jury's out right now. I'm like I said, I'm disappointed currently. I'm not gonna be getting my torches and pitchforks out for Mayo anytime soon. If it's 3 or 4 years down the road and the defense is either worse or the same as it is, absolutely we got an issue. But I'm gonna give it a little time, and hopefully this coaching unit can figure out what they need to do to get the team back to where they should be realistically.
So who's your pick? Who's your fix it? Your first round draft pick. No matter where you slide, let's say your top 5. Who's your pick?
My top 5. I mean, I'm a big Texas guy, so my left tackle down there in Texas. I mean, that's a big. I know defense.
You going left tackle?
Listen. I know. We're just talking about defense. I know we're talking defense, but I am a former my fatties, my offensive lineman. That's what I call them. Okay, my fatties. We got to take care of the future and the franchise, right? And the biggest thing, like I touched on earlier, when Jacoby Brissett was the starting quarterback for this team, he got hit 40 times in the first 4 games of the season. That averaged 10 hits a game. And Drake May has been knocked out of a game. He's been sacked a whole bunch of times. So they got to establish the front. That's the biggest thing for me. If we can establish the front, protect Drake May, defense, I'm like I said, I'm not saying it's all set. We need defense. That, don't get me wrong, but I think the trenches is where you win games, and they need to establish a good trench game again.
Oh my God! Here goes French. Go ahead, French. Go ahead, French. It's a perfect segue. A perfect segue to French. It's insane. Go ahead, French.
You might say French, some say trench. It's synonymous.
Wow.
What I want to build off of kind of what you were mentioning when you were saying we might put up 70. I think 70 is a little aggressive.
Wow. Hold on. 22 minutes and 58 seconds.
Wait. Listen. You can't tell me when to eat dessert. Is it what's the trend going around? Free will? We have free will. We can just get right into it sometimes. But I'm not going that far yet.
Wow.
I want to talk more towards the psyche of the team. Let's say we go up big in the first half. Is this a team where mentally they'll mail it in and, kind of call off the dogs? Because, within where we're at in the season, I guess you guys aren't really playing for a playoff spot. So what do you think is more of the psyche of the team?
They're playing for jobs, man.
Yeah.
But that can be a bit, when guys are playing for jobs.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you how to bend the Raiders, but it's the Patriots. Robert Kraft don't play that shit. My bad. He don't play that.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear what you got.
Go. My fault. Because it wasn't even for me. I apologize.
It's okay. No. It's all good. No, my big thing is obviously earlier in the season, I would have said that probably this team would have mailed it in for sure, where they played the way they did to start the year with Jacoby and everything, and it was just the wheels were falling off. I think with Drake May now, you're going to see this team want to scrap and want to fight and want to be competitive regardless. I mean, that was the big thing that I took away from the Houston game. I want to say 4 or 5 weeks ago when we played Houston at Foxborough. I think the final score was 40 something to 21. It was an absolute shell shocking. The Patriots had no chance whatsoever in the game. But the biggest thing was they kept May in. He kept slinging the ball. He kept running. He kept fighting. It was not just a roll over. Okay, you know what? It is what it is. Like they kept trying. And that's from my perspective, especially as a fan where I know the team is not good. I want to see the competitiveness, because even if you're going to lose, even if you're going to get your butt kicked, make it exciting to watch. Don't have me sitting there going, well, I should turn this off at halftime because it's not worth, my time. This is what I think this team is becoming, where they're starting to figure it out, where it's like, hey, we're going to get our butts kicked, But at the same time, we're going to stand there and we're going to punch you in the mouth, even though you're going to knock us out. We're going to give you everything we have, and it might not be enough. But at the end of the day, if they show me the fight, if they show me what they're going to be able to do, I'm okay with that as a fan. And I'm more than okay with that supporting this team going forward, because I will root for a team any day that tries, but I cannot turn on the TV if it is a team that just mails it in before the game even starts.
And if you think you got a quarterback, dude, think about it. If you're a defensive guy in the fringe, if you think you found a quarterback, hey, I want to be here next year.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, I want to be here next year, and I want to build with these guys. So for
Exactly.
the difference to me, the Patriots are just like I told them the first time we talked. The Patriots have always been a sneaky team. They don't have to do nothing perfect. They just do it the right way, and you find yourself in a 17 or 14 game in the damn Patriots for no damn reason, because the guys are trying their asses off. I hate the Patriots. I hate they're the most they're out of this world. They'll make no sense. All those games you watching when Drake May got out the helm, those boys is playing for him. Bourne ain't got no type of speed, but he diving out there like a maniac. Husband Henry hasn't done anything, and he diving, he blocking. Nah, it's different. When you got
different energy,
see what does for us. So I'm not saying Drake May, but once the team has the quarterback, bro, it's a different level. You think about it. You pulling out the work, and you got Jacoby Brisket. Come on, cuz you ain't getting enough for that. You got you know what I'm saying? Hey, this kid, hey, he might just throw 17 interceptions, or he might just throw 17 touchdowns in a game. So you don't know. So you want to be there for that.
And they're playing for incentives too, right? I'm assuming on their contract, so I'm sure they want to meet those expectations to get that extra money on. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to play for, especially the future, and then getting your extra incentive.
The NFL is such a weird league that you could be 1-15 next year, and then the next year you're 9-8, and you're playing for a playoff position. You feel me? So that's all it takes.
And I think I was going to say, you actually hit a really good point about where if May can show the league what he's able to do right now, that's going to incentivize talent to come to New England. Because a big thing that a lot of people look back at this offseason, one of the big acquisitions that the Patriots were trying desperately to grab was Calvin Ridley coming out of Jacksonville. And at the end of the day, they asked him when he signed with Tennessee, "Oh, how come you didn't consider New England?" And he goes, "Well, they pay too much taxes up there." And it's like, dude, nobody gives a crap about taxes, okay? I mean, yeah, you don't want to pay him. I don't want to pay him. Nobody wants to pay him. But you're making millions of dollars playing in the NFL. You're not worrying about that crap. You looked up there and you saw, like you said, you saw Jacoby Brisket being the starting quarterback and was like, "I'm not going to play up there for that. I don't want to do that." He was like, "I'm going to go to Tennessee. I'm going to play with D-Hop and Will Levis and see what we can do." Obviously, that was a colossal mistake. But that being said, it looks now like Drake May. That's like, again, I go back to the excitement factor for me as a fan, where I'm looking at Drake May saying, okay, he's not Tom Brady. He's not Peyton Manning. He's not none of those guys yet. But he's showing the league, hey, look at what I can do. And if you want to come here and be a playmaker with me, imagine what we could do next year or the year after that, and just be that type of baller that people want to come play with. So if he keeps doing that and they keep doing the things they're doing, I'm going to be more than okay with the future going forward.
As a Patriot fan, you should know, man. People were Randy Moss, Corey Dillon. They were all taking millions of dollar pay cuts to come play with Tom. Right. And if this kid shows anything, I'll tell you one thing. If I'm a player and I see Drake May up and coming, and I have Buffalo Bills and the Patriots, I'm gonna go to the Patriots. It's a better franchise. So as a player, you're gonna go to the better team, the better franchise, more history. Why do you think people still go to the Cowboys?
That's a great question.
No, bro. Listen, Josh Allen's been in Buffalo all these years. Has any wide receiver said I'm going over there? People have requested trades. We got Tyreek Hill with Tua. Tua hadn't done nothing, and nobody went over there. I'm trying to tell you, these teams. You get a quarterback, they might have 2 or 3 pieces next year. We ain't even gonna find out. Mess around and get Kyle Pitts for no reason.
Oh, he'll be back in a little bit, but In this final round of questions, I want to ask you, what is your predict? Okay, no, I'll say this: the Patriots win if the Dolphins win if, in your opinion.
Ooh, okay. So for me, the Dolphins win if they follow the same procedure that the Rams did against the Patriots last week, where, like I said, whoever Christian Gonzalez is not covering, just throw the ball in that direction because the Patriots don't have a guy that can take care of their secondary receiver. Like I said, I have a feeling that they're going to have Christian Gonzalez lined up on Tyreek Hill because I know that he shadows him a lot. He did in the first game, and he had previously last year before Gonzalez got hurt. So I think Tyreek Hill might have a little bit of a quieter day. That is going to open up the field for Jalen Waddle and Odell to absolutely just go to town, which deservedly they will, because again, our nickel back there, Marcus Jones and John Jones, they're not bad players. They just don't have the top tier talent to handle receivers like you guys have on the offensive side of the ball there. Now for the Patriots, if they're going to win, I got to say the big thing is the defense has got to shock me. They got to shut down the run, which again is no easy task with HN there. You guys have got a established running back who is doing incredible things. His speed alone is just mind-boggling. But if they can shut down the run and force Tua into mistakes, they might have a good chance there because, again, I think Drake May has that ability to get the offense going a little bit. And no disrespect to your defense, I think he's going to be able to take advantage of a few situations there. But again, it comes down to, can the Patriots defense complement the offense now that it's rejuvenated with Drake May? And so far, unfortunately, the defense hasn't been able to level up that caliber where they need to. Can they do it against a team like the Dolphins? Potentially. Again, my gut says no, because again, Tua is undefeated against the Patriots. And of all places, it's down in Miami. And we all know what happens to the Patriots when they go down to Miami. They get their butts kicked per you. Even with Tom Brady, when they were freaking undefeated, I was still sweating bullets every time he had to go down there. I was just like, no, it's Miami. I don't trust them. They're going to do something crazy. Freaking that Miami Miracle. I still have nightmares about that. Gronk didn't have the angle. That's SOB. I'll never forgive him for that.
You never had Gronk out there. That was the biggest mistake. I mean, they only swept us one time. That was the only feeder season.
That's right.
Man, it must suck looking at Jack Jones over there with the Raiders, by the way. Why did you guys keep Jack Jones?
I from what I was told and what I've read on him, it was a very precarious situation where he had a whole gun charge in the airport kind of thing. He was given a lot of like chances and stuff, and I think Belichick was just like, yeah, we're gonna cut our losses here. And then of course he goes to the Raiders and tears it up, and I'm like, yep, that's
typical Raider.
The Patriot
It's a typical
way.
Raider. It's a typical Raider story. It's a typical Raider story. So
Pretty much.
that kid was balling against us last week, man.
So really quick, on your way out, what do you got as your score prediction?
Ooh, okay. So last week I gotta give myself a little kudos here. I predicted the Rams 27, Patriots 21, and the final score was 28-22. So I was like, oh, I'm feeling good about that. I don't think it's going to be that close this time. If anything, with Tua back, it's going to be a much different game than the first round. Obviously, remember it was the Tyler Huntley battle versus Jacoby Brissett. I think it was like 15-10. Jalen Polk had the touchdown. That wasn't the touchdown. So that was a whole thing, you know. I do not think it's going to be in the teens for either team this time. If I see any kind of score going forward, gun to my head, I'm going to go Dolphins 34, Patriots 27. So again, you guys are helping me, right? We're getting the better draft pick. You guys are getting your wins. It's all good. We're frenemies, but it's all working out for you. Okay?
If you want that left tackle, left tackle, you got to be top 5.
That's right.
Go 48-17.
Oh, geez.
Jesus. Hey,
are you taking the Patriots, Frenchie? That's really generous of you. I don't know why you give us that many points.
48. What you worked out this week or something? He got a tank top on and all. He feeling froggy. Right. 48.
Yeah.
Oh, here y'all go.
We scored 30 points last week, and now you want to show out. That's crazy.
Right. We're shooting for the 40s, huh?
Yeah,
we're shooting for the 40s. Man.
When I said we was gonna score 70 last year, they called me drunk.
Oh, here we go.
Man, listen. Let me before we get you out the door, man. Like this should be another bright spot outside of Drake, man. Who's that bright spot, man?
Oh, 100% it's Christian Gonzalez. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, he's got to be arguably one of the best corners in the league. And if he can stay healthy and continue to do what he's doing, he's going to have a Hall of Fame career as far as I'm concerned, because he showed the flashes last year as a rookie before he got injured. And so far this year, he's lights out. I don't think anybody's had a better grade overall, except for maybe like Patrick Surtain or any of your top tier corners against top tier wide receivers that he's done. I'm extremely interested to see in the future when Gonzalez goes up against guys like Justin Jefferson and the real top tier talent. And again, no disrespect, obviously Tyreek is top tier, Waddle is very, very good, but I'm interested to see what Gonzalez is going to do against a guy like Justin Jefferson. Like, imagine if he had gone against like a Randy Moss or something like that. That's when eyes are going to be open and go, okay, he's the real deal now. And again, I'm not saying he hasn't done that yet, but I think going forward, he's going to be that guy. They got to find a compliment to him, because, oh my gosh, he can't be everywhere at once. It's just what kills me.
I actually thought he was so good. I thought I tried to claim him to be Dominican, knowing now they know he was Colombian or something. So I try to, I was trying to bring him home to my side of the neck of the wood, because the kid he's a baller, man. He balled out Oregon. He's a baller. He's a monster. He's that's definitely a parting gift from Bill the GOAT. He left you a state of the best he could give to you was that. Because that's definitely a Bill pick. Nobody else can tell me that wasn't a Bill pick, because he knows how to find them. And that right there, in my perspective, he has the trajectory to be the best Patriot cornerback of all time. Better than Revis, better than even Ty Law and all them boys. That boy is nasty. If he stays healthy, think about it. It's a passing league. He's going to have way more chances than all these other guys before him. So his numbers are going to be stupid. Mm-hmm. And at his trajectory, think about it. He might not have as many interceptions as Dora Rivas and the rest of them boys, but he's going to be better, in my perspective.
For sure. I certainly hope so. I mean, everybody remembers Nnamdi Asomugha, what he did with the Raiders, where he didn't have the interceptions, right? And he was, projected as this top tier all-pro guy, which he rightfully was with the Raiders. And I think Gonzalez is absolutely going to fit that bill. And like I said, the biggest thing is just getting him that compliment, because he's gonna shut down guys. He just needs the help or on the field, where Ty Law had that with the other corners that were there at the time. Revis had Browner on the other side, and everything else. Malcolm Butler was there. It's just finding that those complement pieces that are going to be there to help Gonzalez. But hey, if he ends up being the best Patriot cornerback of all time, I certainly will not be complaining, because he's going to be joining some great company, like you said, Ty Law and everybody else. So we'll certainly see what happens.
Hey, Nick, once again, appreciate you for coming through. Before you get out of here, why don't you let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find your podcast? I know we mentioned it, but I just want to, any new stragglers coming in to listen in the matchup, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously I'm a part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm actually a part of a couple of podcasts, as you mentioned before. I'm on Between the Tackles, where I co-host that with my buddy Burge, and we talk all things NFL. Obviously a little heavy on the Patriots, since we are Patriot fans there. And then at the same time, you can also find me over at Foxborough Frenzy, where it is myself dedicated to nothing but Patriots, where you can hear me pulling my hair out every week when we lose another game. But at the same time, I'm celebrating because we're going for that draft pick. So as always, guys, it is an absolute blast to join you. Thank you so much for having me. You're my favorite Dolphins fans on the planet. I hope you guys always know that, and I'll always root for you when you're not playing the Patriots. That's it. Okay?
That's it. That's fair. That's fair. All right, my friend. You have a good one.
Guys.
Good night. Yes,
have
sir.
a good one, brother. This man out here with his tank top French. I don't know. Tank top French is different. You went to the gym.
You must have went to the gym.
You went to the gym. You went to the gym. You went to the gym. You went to the gym.
Mm-hmm. You saw him with the Birdman. With the Birdman.
You had that $50 plate. We had that. You seen the $50 plate. You can't respond to us in meetings. You can't show up for nothing. But you can post a $50 plate with the piccoli on the side. But it's cool. And then you worked out. That's a celebratory meal.
Those plates are expensive for real. Like, no cap. While they are expensive. So,
you didn't see the extra. You didn't see the extra, right?
Yeah.
He told it. He gave it that look. Yeah. You can't deny it. You can't.
You got two extra plantains too. Like, that's crazy.
You seen it. You asked for extra sauce. You asked for extra sauce, because the song was dripping. It was succulent in the side. Woo, woo.
Oh man, guys, any final words before we get out of here?
Now I know what John Smith felt like.
Oh, now you know. Now you know. Okay.
My man, you are not John Lee. John, don't leave the screen. Don't leave the screen. Oh my God, I hate this guy, bro.
Wally, the Euro step is real, guys. It's real.
I hate this guy. Oh man, I hate this guy.
Guys, once again, appreciate y'all for coming through. Please follow us, follow the page, follow 5 Reasons, and follow the Inside Leverage. Appreciate and love your support.
Don't forget your price picks.
Don't forget your price pick. 5. Set yourself up for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting game. You might get some money on incoming. Steelers, Browns. I mean, it goes without saying. You know who to pick. You know who to take.
Buy some of them French plates.
I'm telling you. Get your set up. 5. Get the 50. Set yourself up. You're getting extra plantains, extra sauce,
extra sauce. You know what I'm saying?
A little extra meat for the 150. You know,
and you gonna tip the lady with the elbow grease. Stop playing.
Exactly.
Y'all are wild, bro.
All right, you guys have a good night. Wally, take us home, my friend.
Man, Fins for the win, man. Stop playing me. Let's go.